So today I'm going to be experimenting with this.
Welcome to my channel.
This is Core's light dimensional ground. What makes this one really unique is that it has a 3D effect. So instead of just being a normal ground, which is like what Daniel Smith offers and others, it's going to have more of a sponge-like flexible surface, and you can build it up and it's kind of squishy. It's almost like caulk, but instead of caulk being so porous, it dries and then acts like a ground. So ground is like paper. Think of it like just like latex paper. And you just put it on whatever surface you want, and then you have like this funky textured paper. So you'll see I just applied a Payne's Gray wash over my textured watercolor paper. What's making this interesting to me is that we have some really nice pools of color that's happening, and it's going to be dark around where those ridges are. And I'm just really interested to see how this is going to dry on its own without any detailing. So we're going to see how this dries. Ooh, this was not the result I was expecting. It kind of just like went away from the ridges instead of like continuing to darken around the edges of the ridges. That's so cool. All right, let's keep adding to it. Okay, I took it a step further and did those darker marks, dry brushing practically on top of these ridges. And it holds the color really well, though there's some like peaks that are trying to, they just don't allow the color to really stay. So that's an interesting feature. I did another darker wash over here, and you can see how it's still kind of just like rolling off some of those hills, if you will. I'm sure there's some really cool things, especially with the granulation that's happening. That could be really fun. Definitely worth exploring. Give you a side view. So you can tell it's really not that much higher off the paper. I think the best use of this texture right now in my mind for how it would look really cool is if I just kind of applied the texture how I wanted and then ignored it. Just paint how I want to paint on top of it as if it didn't exist and allow the texture to create cool things with the water and the color. And yeah, I think that's probably the best. Thanks for joining me in my studio, and in the meantime, stay curious and keep creating.